Hello and welcome to our new journey, and in this journey we will be discovering stories, hidden stories of the Silicon Valley. We'll be meeting amazing people and learning how, with their ideas, with their experiences, they went from zero to successes, or what kind of challenges they had in their lives. Today I'm pleased to introduce to you my very special guest. He's a business and tech consultant, he's a financial consultant and advisor for a lot of startups, Mr. Wang Bing Chen.
Yes.
Mr. Wang, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mr. Wang, you've been in this area, in the Silicon Valley, for a very long time.
Yeah, about 8 years already.
How do you feel living here? It's a very unique and different environment.
Yes.
How did you feel living here, working with people, meeting a lot of people? You do a lot of advisory, financial or technical or business for the startups. What was your experience dealing with people?
I think people here are very energetic. They have a lot of ideas and they are willing to put the effort, also a lot of fortune to make it happen and push the development of the society. Yeah, so it's very, very exciting to working with people.
How did you feel the trends? How did you feel changes in here, in this area, in the Silicon Valley?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes. And people call it like the center of the universe, which I think is true because a lot of innovations, a lot of ideas all come from here. And if you look at those big companies, they either have a headquarters in Silicon Valley or they have R&D center, or at least an office. So from there, you can see this area is definitely a lot of innovations, a lot of ideas. Yeah.
Working with people now, like the most recent projects which you were advising to or helping to, comparing to, let's say, 5 or 8 years ago, how do you feel the difference between people, between their ideas? Are they more complicated or they're more, creative? What is the difference now comparing to 8 years ago?
I think people are the same. So even at a different time, people have different ideas. But if you go back to that time, you always find those ideas very creative at that moment. And for example, the cryptocurrency, you can saw the trend and also you can see the market, the up and down, and a lot of companies, they have the idea, they grow, and then they die, and the new ones comes out, and they solve some new challenges. So I think for people from time to time, human beings are the same. They always want innovation, they always want new stuff, they always want to change the society. Yeah, so I think for the people it's the same, but it's just a different idea. So to me, the core value is the same. It's how you help people to put their idea into reality. So this is the key point.
How did the pattern of development of your own idea and business in the Silicon Valley changed, if it changed, from 8 years ago till now?
I think from the time to time, people are learning, I will call it more efficient way. So especially, during the COVID time, people start to use Zoom or the remote meetings.
Yeah.
But I think there's an advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is you can work with people worldwide. But disadvantage is you cannot meet face by face. And then there's less communication in some sense of the human nature. But in terms of the efficiency, I think it's more efficient. And also, as you just mentioned, the pattern is a normal pattern before. Nowadays, even when we advise some projects, we will say, okay, you start to meet the VCs. You start to meet with your clients. Your goal is not to get new clients or get the fund immediately. But your goal is to get what they think about. Because whatever the product comes to the market, there's always something you need to improve. So after the product comes into the market, then you find, okay, there's this error, there's that error, you need to change. It's kind of you can still do it, but it's kind of late. But if you can make a product which could be much better than your first version. That would be much better. And also, I mean, you get to know those new clients or you get to know those VCs. Once you are ready, then you talk to them because they follow your track. They know you, they know the product, and it's easy for you to get the fund easily later. So that's the kind of like things I saw people start to do things more efficiently.
So basically, you mean, as in other industries, as in other, I would say, business places, as Hollywood, for example, the most important value would be not to hurry up for the money, for the investment, but to build these relationships and networking.
Yes.
Yeah. But right now, it's mostly online.
Yeah, most likely, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I do saw people have meet like face to face, but it's less frequently.
To you personally, to you and maybe, you know, people from your entourage, from your surroundings, do you prefer an online meeting or you prefer face to face?
I prefer face to face because that's the way I can get to know the people better. And also, you know, like people have the demos, they have the ideas, or like say, some of the projects they have the lab. I would like to go inside to see the details so that I can make my judgment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, like if through the online, they just show you a couple of pictures. If you're not really expert in that area, probably you couldn't really see the inside.
What does a person or a team or a company, like a startup, have to put together in their project presentation to you to make you interested to work with them?
So I think to me, the most important thing is that you are going to change something the society need. Because if you are doing a little change, a lot of people can do it. If you are going to make a huge change, then you need to make a lot of effort. Like, you know, sometimes during the process, probably a lot of people will say your project is not good, you should switch your directions, and you will have a lot of objections. How are you going to handle those objections? When you have the objection or you have a challenge, is that you choose to quit? That's one choice. That's very easy, and that's most of the easy ones. And then continue.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like a lot of people, they can continue, but when you have like, most of people say no to you, will you still stick with it? So this kind of things I like to meet with people face to face. So I would decide whether you are going to fully put your effort for this project, or you just do it for fun. I mean, if you are do it for fun, probably I don't want to put my effort. Yeah, but if you really dedicated to it, yes, I mean, yeah. But also, I mean, the other condition is like the project, it should be a really good one.
When people would pitch their project to you in order to have you on board and guide them, advise them, which are the things which are red flags to you? It could be a really interesting project, and you could feel that they're into it. It's not like a thing for fun or just maybe nothing serious. But when you hear something, it's like a red flag to you. It's like too risky or no to me, even if it's interesting.
I can give you an example. There's one project I met, and I think I don't mention the name. I think it's a good one, but they said they have like 8 co-founders. So I'm just curious, like 8 co-founders, you have 8 people have the same idea. I mean, in reality, I just feel like by my intuition, I saw it's not possible. 8 people, you always have different ideas. Then, so I saw a question to them like, so once you have the company created, what's your stock? They said like they equally. Then I said, if there's some argument for one of the major directions you want to go, how can you make those decisions? I mean, they could be like 4x4, which is 50-50, and they just stuck there. So for those kind of companies, I don't want to go because to me, I think it's I won't say they're not dedicated, but they're just not mature for the business.
Which directions are you right now interested in investing your own time basically. If you advise or you guide someone, it's like biotech, it's AI, it's financial, it's maybe even media.
To me, I think I mostly focus on the material side. So, for example, if people can make some materials to improve some of the products' quality, then it could change people's life. Yeah. So, for example, like one project I saw a couple months ago is they are doing some like condition on the material used for the T-shirt. So it will be has better water resistance.
Okay.
Yeah, and longer life even during the rough wash. Yeah, so those kind of things. And also, I'm also interested in the financial side, especially I think nowadays it's like the crypto side. Back in the like 2018, I have a lot of people approach me for the cryptocurrency project or blockchain project. But I think at that time, I'm not ready. And also my partner is not ready. Because I mean, to us, this is still new technology. And there's a lot of things a lot of issues you need to solve before, I mean, the crypto market, it's really become major or accepted by majority of the people.
When I worked with a few startups, what I felt as a filmmaker, right? Because they wanted us to present their idea, they wanted to create an infomercial, commercial, which would not be cheesy, which says like, buy this stuff because it's good. No, we were digging in the story, right? And my experience working with business people from the tech, no matter from the US or China or Europe, they are very indeed idea driven. So they think this product, this AI thing, it's great, amazing. They cannot really tell the story to sell the product, which it's our thing.
Yeah.
And then when I'm digging more and more and more, they love the product, but they don't really focus on the business plan,
Yes.
on the marketing.
Yes.
How do you, when you take the project, how do you guide them? Would you start probably with a business plan, then with a marketing strategy? What is your path? What is the maybe efficient, correct path to develop?
Yeah, so I think to me, I think the most efficient way is to find a business partner for them. So some of the projects, I will help them to find a business person in the team. Because, like, especially in the Silicon Valley, a lot of people doing the startup, they come from the engineering background.
Yeah.
So as you just mentioned, they're more focused on the technology. So they're technology driven, but they're not business driven. So I should not say correct them, but I have to lead them to understand why you need to have a business plan or marketing plan to push your product to the market. So the most important is let them to get the concept. You need to do the marketing, and then help them to find a marketing person. I'm not saying like they could be a partner for the project, or they could hire a marketing person. Yeah, so this will be, I think this fundamentally solve the issue, because from our side, we can only give advice.
Yeah.
So they can pick, take it or don't take it.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, so like if they don't like our idea, they just dump us. I mean, that's true, because they thought we were useless. Okay. But in that sense, actually, it's not good for the company. So once they have hired a person or they have a partner, they realize, okay, the business is important. Then, I mean, it's good for them, and it's also keep us.
Yeah. Which the most important points are you looking at when you're checking their business plan?
The most important, I'll check if they do the market research. Whether the data is good or bad, or it's real or not real, they have to do some research. Because in that sense, I know they put some effort. Some of the market, it's really hard, because I mean, even you pay the money, you couldn't get like what's the data, how you estimate. It's really hard. But at least you have some idea how you estimate the market, how's your revenue, and how is like 5 years plan. So at least you need to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people come to me and say, okay, this is a huge market and people are going to love the product and we're going to make a lot of money. But then it's to us, it's like you don't do your research, you don't do your homework. And basically means you are not really care about it. So I really want to see people really care about it. Sometimes, like I'll probably say 30% maybe the data or the resource they get is wrong, but it's okay. I mean, because people have different resource. So as long as they put the effort, I know they're willing to do it, then I'm going to help.
As we just mentioned, a lot of people with a technological background, they're very technology driven, they're code driven, they're living this world. How do you get to their heart? How do you open them up to hear your message and to not be so technologically driven?
Oh, okay. So I think this, by human nature, we usually like drink coffee and we drink beers, we watch some games. And once you do those, people getting close instead of just like a business talk. And I really want to get to know, like, say, the founder, what they really think about it. Because I think like people sometimes will change the idea because they want to get the fund, because they want to have something. But when you are drinking coffee, you talk about like something in the life, or you drink beers, or you watch some games. When we talk, people usually just like more relaxed.
More relaxed, more open.
Yeah, more open. So they're willing to tell you the true thoughts from their heart. Yeah, and then like one example I always use is Thomas Edison. He invented the bulb, the light bulb, but the first product he made will be much longer lifetime than what we have right now.
Yeah.
But why he want to like short the lifetime of the light bulb? Want to make the business. That's how the GE become a great company. If he makes the light bulb, say, last for 50 years, there's no sales. Yeah. So those kind of things, like I would say those like a small story. People always knows about it, but they never really thought about it. So like this story, I think it's very touching for a lot of engineers because they knows about it and they never thought about it.
In this industry, in this circle, let's put it this way, I believe many startups, many business people with ideas, they would love to work with an advisor as yourself. Of course, we'll put some contacts of yours which are okay to share with the audience so they could reach out to you. And yeah. But from your experience, because of course you've known so many people here, what are the traits of a really good quality business financial advisor? Because you can find an advisor, but it's the wrong person, right? Or as in Hollywood, we have so many fakes. I believe this industry also has those. Which traits do you think are very important to distinguish a good advisor from a not so good one?
Yeah, so I think actually, if you look at the industry, a lot of people from the engineering, say the technology background, then a lot of people from the finance background. And usually a lot of teams, they need two person.
Yeah.
Then two person can work together. But for me, because I come from the technology background, then I do the finance. So it's kind of like sometimes I'm just joking. Say one of your fees, consulting fees.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like as you said, like say a good one or a better one, I think it's really hard to say. Sometimes it's how you match, because I do saw people have really good technology background. Let's say they're not nice to people. They're really harsh. But some of the founders, they really need someone to push it to get the projects through. So I think for them, that's kind of like a match. But sometimes, like the founders, they have a strong will. They would like to be treated nicely. So a nice advisor will be much better. So I won't say, how really is the good ones or bad ones. It's how a suitable ones.
Yeah, so it's basically a human-human match.
Yes, yeah.
I see.
Like marriage.
like like a relationship. Yeah. We talked about marketing, and I honestly cannot hold myself from asking you, how do you see the role of the media in development of the companies, of the startups? From my knowledge, which I might be wrong, there is not much media in the Silicon Valley, in the technological center of the universe, as you mentioned. What is your perspective? What is your knowledge about this? And how is it important or not important?
Yeah, I think media actually is very important. It's just like, say, a lot of startups or a lot of people just ignore at the beginning. Say, for example, you always saw those like a big advertisement from like a big companies, or you will saw like a company, if they want to expand really fast, they start to use the media. But to me, I think even for a startup, you put some of the effort in the media, actually it's going to boost their business. This is beyond the technology or the traditional say, the finance support. Because I mean, to the end, you're going to have the clients. Your clients is your lifeline. So how can you acquire your clients faster? How can the client get to know your product? How can those, like say, the VC get to know your product? Actually, media actually is much better. So that's how you can see like, previously you will see a lot of people, they just give you a pitch. And then later you will see they give you a flyer. And nowadays you can see a lot of, like I would call like a smart startup. They do a short video. They do some introductions about their products. They do some demos in the video and show you how the idea, how it works. Actually, I think this helps a lot. Yeah.
For you as a financial business advisor, also a tech advisor, when a startup would send you a video, which advice could you give to our viewers? How do you personally, as an advisor, prefer the video to be structured with? From my own understanding, which again, it could be different here, I would put the most important in like the first 5 to 10 seconds so it catches your attention. And if that's the same case with you, what is the most important thing people should put in these first 5 to 10 seconds to basically sell their idea to you, to catch your attention, to hook you on board?
So I think I'm kind of like a struck person. So if you show me really like a fancy stuff, I really need to think about what's the key for this, like whatever you presented to me. So as you mentioned, like for the maybe 5 or 10, I think 5 seconds is probably like too short. Maybe like 20 seconds. The most key things I'm looking at is what do you have, what you are going to change, and what's the impact. Yeah, okay. I think that's the most important.
Thank you so much. And the last question for today.
Sure.
You've done so many successful projects in the US, in China, you consulted so many people all around the world. What would be your 3 tips of success to the startups in 2021, hopefully post-pandemic time?
Yeah, I think it's not really a tip. I probably would just say I summarize a lot of startup I saw which they're doing good. I think one thing is dedicate. The second is work hard. The third one is work smart. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the show, for sharing your ideas, for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope that, and I'm sure that our interview will help a lot of...
hopefully they can get some benefit from it.
They will definitely.